Maybe you even suggested that we should go to couples therapy. Maybe you even suggested that they need therapy because they got all sorts of trauma and baggage and a broken childhood. But they never went, did they? But now that the narcissist is hoovering you, now the narcissist tells you that they've been going to therapy. And now the narcissist thinks that that's going to be enough for you to forgive them and give them the benefit of the doubt again. Don't be a sucker. Well. How's everyone doing today? Possibly, maybe, might be talking about narcissists in this segment here today. This is Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kira. I wanted to make this video about narcissists that claim that they're in therapy. Most specifically, the narcissists that after the discard, after they have ghosted you, after they have started a relationship with a new supply and disappeared for over a year, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, but usually around a year or two. You never hear from them again. You never got an apology. You never got closure. Some of you never got your stuff back. Most of you were cheated on. Most of you had to endure the pain of knowing that the person that the narcissist was cheating on you with, usually a low-hanging fruit, is the person that they started a new relationship with. I get a lot of emails, I get a lot of comments of people asking me, Kita, how do I deal with the fact that my narcissist, cheating son of a bitch, is walking into the sunset with the new supply, happily ever after? They discover that they're engaged, that they usually like 2 months into the relationship, which tells you a lot. They discover later that the narcissist married the new supply in less than a year, in less than 6 months of breaking up with you. Because that is so healthy. How does one cope knowing that the narcissist abuser discarded you and quickly found someone else, quickly replaced you, and now they're getting married, they're starting something new, and not even, doesn't always have to be marriage, they can just be in a relationship for a good old year, good old 2 years. That's bad enough having to deal with that. I always tell people, you just got to realize that, hey, this was not the person for you. If this person was abusive, if this person was lying to you, if this person cheated on you, if this person was causing you mental health anguish, anxiety, this is not the person for you. Rejoice that that relationship came to an end, because let me tell you, when you get through this on the other side, when you come out of this on the other side, and you start seeing the silver linings into all the bad things that has been happening for you, then you'll agree that this person was not the one you were supposed to be with long term. So, what happens when that same despicable, pathetic scumbag comes back after a year or two? What happens when the narcissist decides to pull the Hoover to see how you're doing, to see if maybe there's still a chance? Because let me tell you, once you get hoovered by a narcissist, either the grass wasn't greener on the other side, or they're having problems, with the new supply now. That relationship is falling apart, just like all of them fall apart. The narcissist is getting bored with the new supply. The new supply is on to the narcissist. Things aren't working out as planned. The narcissist starts to realize what they lost in you. They start to realize that you were the better supply. They start to realize that you were the best they ever had. So they try to come back. And if you had been with the narcissist for a long time, if you were one of those that took them back time and time again after catching them cheating on you, time and time again of them dumping you, ghosting you, putting you through hell, if you're one of those, and believe me, we were all one of those at some point, then you know the hell you went through. And you know that each and every time you took these son of a bitches back, the same thing happened again and again, worse each and every single time. What makes you think that this time is going to be any different? Oh, maybe because now the narcissist is telling you, hey, I've been going to therapy. Ah ha ha! They know that's what you want to hear. Listen, narcissists don't really go to therapy. Okay? There's always the exception to the rule, but the narcissist doesn't think there's anything wrong with them. And when the narcissist goes to therapy, they're able to manipulate the therapist. Only a highly trained therapist that has dealt with narcissist personality disorders in people and can actually see through the manipulation will call it out. Only someone that's highly skilled will not get manipulated. And even so, some of these psychos are so good. So the narcissist comes back with their tail between their legs. And they tell you all the things that they think that you want to hear. Usually the things that they know you want to hear. And that they realized that you are the love of their life. They realize that there's no one else like you. They tried to make it work with the new supply, but they just didn't love them because they're still in love with you. Mind you, these toxic narcissists are not able to love, at least not in a healthy manner. They think emulating love is real love. They think doing the things they see in the movies or doing the things that they think will make you believe that they love you is love. You see how mechanical that is already, right? So if you were in those relationships, if you were in those fragile, toxic relationships where you kept fighting and arguing with the narcissist, time and time again, y'all were having wars. Maybe you even suggested that we should go to couples therapy. Maybe you even suggested that they need therapy because they got all sorts of trauma and baggage and a broken childhood. But they never went, did they? But now that the narcissist is hoovering you, now the narcissist tells you that they've been going to therapy. And now the narcissist thinks that that's going to be enough for you to forgive them and give them the benefit of the doubt again. Don't be a sucker. All right? Do not be a sucker. If you've studied NPD enough, you'll come to understand that there's no cure for this psychological personality disorder. Going to therapy is not going to fix the years and years and years of trauma that they had, the years and years and years of becoming quite proficient at manipulating. years and years and years of repeated patterns of behavior that were only meant to serve them. They might be able to talk through it with their therapist. They might be able to become more aware of the disorder in themselves. They might have those moments of self-reflection, although rare, but they might have them. They might talk a good talk, make you believe that they want to change, make you believe that they've already changed, but a leopard doesn't change its spots. And you will see the same patterns of manipulation, the same patterns of entitlement, the same boredom that led them to cheat. You will see those things again the moment you give them the benefit of the doubt, the moment you let your guard down again, the moment you actually believe, hey, you know what? They have changed. The moment that happens, you don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. The narcissist can feel it. They can feel once you've given in to them again. They can feel it. They can sense it by your conversations, by your text frequency, the things you say, the things you open up to them about. When they start seeing you smile again around them, when they start feeling those emotions that you once had at the beginning of the relationship when things were awesome, when they start to see that again, that's when they start devaluing you once again, and they start withholding once again, and they start losing interest once again. And you will notice it faster because you've been through this before, because you're watching videos like this, because you're becoming educated. Maybe some of you guys have been in therapy. Maybe some of you guys have been working with me on my coaching program. Maybe some of you guys have been aware of this personality disorder for years, and you just didn't have the strength to terminate the relationship because you were trauma bonded to your abuser. And you knew exactly what it was, and you knew exactly what they were doing, and you made the mistake of telling them. You made the mistake of telling them that you knew what was up, and that you wanted them to get help, and that you were not going to abandon them. You just wanted them to get help. That's basically telling the narcissist, hey, no matter what you do to me, I'm never going to leave you. No matter what you do, I'm always going to take you back. That's how it registers in their entitled brain. So they don't realize that, hey, it's been a year. It's been 1 year since we spoke. It's been 2 years. It's been 5 years since you ghosted. And you went and you started a relationship with that person that you were cheating on me with, behind my back. It all came out into the open, and that sucker, who's also under a spell most of the time, decided to double down on you. The same way we had doubled down on the narcissist before, because the same thing happens to all the new victims, to all the new supplies. And you're sitting there and you're like, wow, after all this time, you have the audacity to come back, and you think that by uttering a few words of, oh, I've been going to therapy, that after a while, you're going to be able to weasel your way back into our hearts? Get the hell out of here with that. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, there you go. Dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. But some of you fall for it because some of you are trauma bonded. And when you're trauma bonded, it's like a drug addiction and your brain just doesn't function, it just doesn't function properly in matters like these. It's almost like this is exactly what you were hoping the narcissist would have done. This is exactly what you were hoping that they would have done 2 years, 3 years ago in the relationship. You wish they would have gotten the help they needed. Little do you know, it wouldn't have changed anything. But that's what you wanted. You would have felt better knowing that your narcissist is in therapy and you guys are working towards healing and fixing the relationship. Of course, that makes sense. Do not, I don't fault you for that because I used to think the same thing. But once you understand this, you realize, oh no, wait a minute. That type of thinking is exactly what got us here. That type of thinking. Thinking that there was hope, thinking that there was going to be, this was the exception to the rule. Because there's always an exception to the rule, but we always think that we're so special that that exception is going to apply to our situation. And you know, it's great to have faith. It's great to have hope. It's great to think positively. But it's also great to take calculated risks. It's also great to study patterns and history, right? And if you keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result, well, you're insane, because that is the definition of insanity. Which makes narcissists insane too, because they do the same thing and they expect a different result. But wait a second. But if the narcissist comes back and does the same thing, and you take them back each and every time, then they're actually expecting the same result, which does not make them insane. Woo! Mind blown! Hold on a second. I need some hydration here. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think about that. Listen. Do not buy into the BS. Okay, do not buy into the BS. If you've been cheated on, if you were in a toxic relationship with a cheater, with a narcissist, with a psychopath, and they come back and they tell you that they've been in therapy and therapy this and therapy that, believe me, the minute you take them back, all bets are off. Chances are they're not even in therapy. Chances are the minute you picked up that phone, the minute you unblocked them and they called and you answered, they were like, that's it, canceling, that's it, I don't need the therapist anymore, I got what I wanted. Don't be a sucker. Don't be a sucker, because I tell you, you take them back and they lie and they cheat on you again, and you're going to kick yourself in the ass. I promise you it's going to happen. Usually it happens right away. But sometimes after enough, there's like a buffer of time has passed, sometimes the narcissist just gets smarter. Sometimes they're getting older and they realize, damn, time and time again I screwed up, and yet this was some good supply. I miss that supply. And they want it, and they want it, and they want it. And the more you resist, the more they want it, the more they want it, the more they want it. And then when they get it, they don't want it anymore. It's like a dog chasing a car, chasing the car. But when they finally get there, they don't know what the hell they're going to do with it. What do they do? And do they piss on it? You know, now what? Oh, there goes another car. Time to chase that one. Don't be a sucker, guys. All right. So that's all I wanted to remind you guys of today. All right. If you have second thoughts, if you have a situation that you'd like to share in the comments below, by all means, go ahead and do that, and I'll probably read them and maybe make some videos in the future in regards to them, answer your questions online. Also, I do have a coaching program. I mention this all the time. If you guys want to work directly with me, privately, one-on-one over Zoom, I have a link right here, even though that's not a link, that's just the URL flashing on the screen, but the link is in the description. Click on that so you can get more information, see if we're a good fit for each other, how the program works, if you think this is something for you. I work with a lot of survivors. I've been working with a lot of survivors, and I can tell you, things will get better when you start doing the work. All right? Don't think that you can figure this out on your own. Your best thinking got you here. Believe me. Believe me. That's why we have mentors, coaches, therapists, doctors, okay? Sometimes we have to be our own doctors. Absolutely, we have to be our own therapists sometimes. That's why I urge you guys, hey, you got to dig deep down inside. You got to listen to your gut. When your gut is screaming at you that something's wrong, pay attention. Pay attention. I can't tell you how many times my gut was screaming at me that my psychopath ex was cheating and lying and she was evil. And I would just ignore it and ignore it and ignore it. And it all came back to bite me in the ass. And I wish I would have listened the first time, because the first time it was loud and clear. I remember sitting in this chair, in this very chair, with her sitting on my lap with a fucking stupid ass tattoo of this fucking python or some shit she got on her back, right? And she was just cold and she was distant. I hadn't seen her in a few weeks. She left the country to get that god awful tattoo that never even got finished. She came back like with half of it done. And I was like, hey, she's disrespecting me. This is not the girl that I've known for all these months. Who the fuck is this person? And right then and there, my gut was like, yo, man up. You've done this before. Get rid of this chick. Like, this is, you know, I'm not going to go into detail as to what happened that led me to feel disrespected, but it was in my face. It was in my face. And I ignored it. I ignored it. It got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Don't let that happen to you anymore. All right? I will see you in the next video. As always, my name is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. Have a great and wonderful rest of your day. See you next time. Bye.